Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is the Ink Boy, and today we are going to be hopping back into Second Life. And I was recently hanging out with a group of friends, and I was helping someone with their avatar and getting new clothes and stuff for it, basically getting it all set up. They were new to Second Life, and it was suggested that I go ahead and make a tutorial on how I set my avatar up and create my shape, um, and stuff like that. So I thought that was a great suggestion, and I figured I would go ahead and make a tutorial for that because Second Life videos do really well on my channel, and I like making them. So yeah, in this video, this will be good for you if you are either new to Second Life or you are going to be giving your avatar a makeover. This is how I do it for my avatar, so this will be probably most beneficial for people that will be playing avatars that are presenting as male. But by all means, feel free to use the tips I use in this video for any type of avatar you want to get together. So first things first is my avatar currently is in a final state. Like, this is what I am happy with. So we're gonna kind of mess my life up a little bit here. Let's go to appearance, edit shape, and we're just going to well, we are going to not do that. I got blocked by this wall here. Let me just take that. Okay, now try this again. Edit shape. All right, now we can see me. So, first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and squish me. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Let's make me skinnier. Kinda, we'll do more body fat. We'll leave that there. Head. We'll make my head tiny. Rich head. We'll do some weird stuff. That. Yeah, we'll just kind of really mess me up. And I'm looking gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We'll keep that in the middle. I don't know of anyone who would actually mess with that slider. Chin, I said, and then square. Yeah, let's make it pointy. Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. You know, maybe I shouldn't make this tutorial because I'm trying to make myself not look very attractive, and I am very attracted to myself right now. So maybe this isn't the way I want it to turn out. Okay, so we're going to title this shape YouTube. Save it as YouTube. And we're just going to examine myself after that. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my goatee. I'm looking great. Honestly, I don't know who would turn this down, but there are people that would, unfortunately. So let's get my avatar back ready for the world. And so yeah, the first thing you want to do when you are setting your avatar up is I would recommend to find a reference photo. I'm not going to use one on this tutorial because I've done this so many times that I kind of like know what motions there are to it. But when I first started making my own shapes, I would look up guys that I thought looked good, and I would start to make my shape based off those pictures. If anything, what looking at a picture will do is help you get your proportions right. I can tell you I am very non-judgmental when it comes to people and their avatars on Second Life, because it's your Second Life. Live it how you want to live it. Like, if you want to be as tall and as big as a building, go for it. But what drives me crazy is when people make their avatars, like, you can tell they're trying to make them look like a real life, like, human, but their proportions are off. Like, their hands are either too small, or their feet are too small, or their torso is too long, or something along those lines. Like, I mean, good for them for thinking they're sexy, and maybe it's just not my cup of tea. But that's one of the things that drives me. That's like a little pet peeve I have. So at minimum, if you pull up a reference photo, that will help you avoid that. So, with that said, I'm actually going to go over and we're going to take my facial hair off. Because the next part of this is you want to find a skin to work with. I always find the skin that I want to wear first, and then I build my shape for that skin. So if you go over to your search bar here, you go over to places, and this is Firestorm, so it might be different with other viewers, but if you're using Firestorm, you're going to go to your little search. And my favorite skin place is Not Found. If you type in Not Found in the search, it's going to be the top result here. They are fantastic for all of the main bodies that people use, such as Legacy. I think they do Signature, Beliza, all the main ones they have appliers for, and they're really, really, really good. All the other stores are great as well, but my first place I always go to is Not Found. If you want two other places, there is Clef, which is short for the full name of the store, which is the second one down here, Clef de Pio. I'm really, it's a beautiful name. I can't pronounce it, but this is what you're gonna look for. They also have a very large selection of skins, and they're really good. Another good store, and I believe they also have appliers for all the main skin or bodies. And last, but certainly not least, is Stray Dog. They're another store that they make really good skins. There's other ones out there, like I think it's like a Avenge or something like that. Birth, or they used to be called Birth. I don't know, it's been a while since I got skins from like those stores, but those are some other ones. But these are the top 3 skin stores I would recommend to go to. So find your skin, get to a safe place where you can edit your avatar, and then start to make your avatar look good. So first thing you're gonna want to do is hop over to your shape, and then you wanna, before you start working on your head, you're gonna want to work on your body. And the reason is because you have to make sure your head is the right size for your body. So before we get this together, we got to get this together. And so you're gonna go over to body, and you're gonna think, do I want to be a smaller guy? Do I want to be a buff guy, or do I want to be just kind of like average in between or whatnot, or like a huge guy? That's fine too. Like, if you want to be a big cuddly bear, you can be a big cuddly bear, whatever makes you happy. Me personally, I like to be on the more muscular side of things, so that's the way I'm gonna build this out. First thing is I am rather squished down for my liking, so I'm gonna go down here, and we're gonna make my avatar taller. Now what you're gonna notice, as you make your avatar taller, it stretches your body out, so all of a sudden your proportions are a little different. Like you're not as squished as you are down here. Like look how squished you are. So we're gonna get back to tall because I like to be a super big guy. But just keep that in mind when you're messing with your height. It's not just your height; it messes with the rest of your body as well. So you might need to make adjustments to your midsection and stuff like that. Next thing I want to do is mess with the thickness. So the way I would think about thickness is not like making you thicker than a Snicker, more so as it is the width of your body. So if you're going to be a more muscular guy, you might want to stretch this out some. If you're going to be a thinner guy or a smaller guy, you might keep that all the way over. I like to, in my opinion, I think stretching this out all the way to 100 is too much. But I would probably go right about there or so. But we might even go a little bit more like that. So there we go. Next is body fat. Now body fat can be a little tricky because it can, I wish they wouldn't really necessarily call it like body fat because it's not really, as you can see, it just kind of like bulks the body up, and it might be different with other bodies, but for the legacy athletic body, it just kind of bulks it up. So don't be afraid to use this. Like if I put this all the way down to less body fat, I look I'm very lean. But if I use it, it starts to fill the rest of the body out, and then I start to kind of get some, it almost looks like I'm getting more muscle. So just kind of play around with this. I usually go right about there. That looks pretty good. Next thing we're gonna do is let's go over to torso. And torso is another place that gets this gets guys a little caught up, because a lot of guys are like, I really want to be super big and buff, and they'll take this muscle slider and they'll put it all the way out. Don't do this. And the reason why you don't want to do this is because on, like, it's not as bad on this body, but it still irks me. It will make your arms look like sausages. Like, please just stop the sausage arm epidemic. Just like put it at like 80 if you want to be like super big and buff. Okay, your arm will look normal, but also you'll look buff. You won't have sausage arms. So just keep that in mind. Neck thickness, we're gonna put that about right there for now. We gotta mess with the head a little bit to get it looking normal, but we'll do that. Shoulders. Okay, another thing, do not put your shoulders all the way out here. You may want to put your shoulders all the way out here because, again, you may want to be a big buff dude. This is not how you accomplish that look. Keep them, I think 80 is a really good area for like the bigger body size. But if you want to be like a smaller dude, you don't want to do that. Of course, you're going to look like you have no shoulders. You're going to go probably out to about there, because you're still going to get like a good like T area on your guy, but you're not going to be like super buff. And of course, you want to be a little buffer, just do about like that, about 80, 85. Pectorals, this is honestly preference. I always like put them where they are all the way out, because if they're all the way flat, I don't like the look of that on me. But I can see if you're wanting to be a smaller guy, that might be the look for you, so go for it. Arms. Now arms are very important. Again, do not give yourself T-Rex arms. I can kind of see the appeal why you'd want to give yourself T-Rex arms. The arms do look kind of neat like that, but definitely make sure your arms are are long enough. So, and it's a very delicate balance too, because you don't want them to be too long, right? But you also don't want them to be too small. Just make sure it looks good to you. Hands are also tricky. One way to measure your hands is they should be from the palm to the tip of your middle finger. That should be the same size as your head. So, the way I measure how big my hands should be. Torso length here. This is another one to pay attention to because guys either get them too short or too long. That doesn't look good, and that that doesn't look good. You see how stretched this area is here? Pay attention, like when you're doing this, depending on your skin, look at this area. If it looks too stretched out here, you're gonna want to bring it back in a little bit. Like probably about right there is good. So just keep that in mind. Love handles. Now this is another like preference thing. If you're a smaller guy, you might not want to have any love handles. If you're trying to be a bigger buffer guy, you might want to have some love handles. What I would keep in mind is even on guys that are super buff, they have a little divot in here, and if you put this too far out, you kind of lose that. So just kind of do what will complement your shoulder, like your T area here. So you still get like a nice little like outline there, but it's the way you want it to be, right? And then belly size. Now belly size, don't be afraid to play with this either. This is one of the things where you can either just not have a belly, or you can give yourself a little bit of a belly. I'd say give yourself a little bit of a belly if you're trying to be a bit buffer. It just, to me, feel like gives you a little bit more heft. And yeah, legs. Legs. Legs are okay to put all the way. Sorry, I hit my mic there if you heard that. Legs are good to put all the way to 100. No issue there. Your hip width, make sure that you're not pinching yourself in like that. You should, guys, like should have just a little bit little hip there, not a lot. You don't want to be too far underneath like your love handles. You want to make sure they like almost they go out just a little. Your hips go out just a little bit, or like right there with your love handles. You don't want them to be too far in like that. You want to have a little bit there, in my opinion. And then your hip length, do whatever your preference, but I just keep it like that because I'm a tall guy. On Second Life at least. Booty, do whatever you want with your booty. I would probably advise against having a completely flat booty, but again, preference. This duffel bag thing, preference. Saddle. So saddle is another, like, basically 2.0 part of your hips. So you want to have a little saddle. I wouldn't keep it at 0. I'd give yourself a little saddle. I wouldn't put it all the way out here. Don't do that. That's too much. Give yourself just a little saddle to where it complements. You want to make sure your love handles and your curve here complements your hip area. Bow-legged. personal preference, and foot size is personal preference. Next, I think that was everything body-wise. Now we can go up to the head. So, head size. Make sure that if you're wanting to be a big dude like me, you take your head, you make it as big as you can. Okay? Because you don't want to have a tiny head. If you're a smaller guy, size it up accordingly. But if you're a big guy, make sure you're using this. I promise you, you're not going to look like your head is too big if you do this right. So yeah. First things first, we need to go to chin and get my chin sorted out. So this is, of course, this is this is preference based, right? But we definitely need to put our chin out a little bit here. And the best thing to do for the chin, like this slider, is to kind of look at it from the side profile. And then, okay, we have a chin now, at least. Jaw shape, personal preference. If you're wanting a more chiseled look, make it square. If you want a more like oval look, or like you know, a more pointy look, you can do that, but I personally like the square one better. This will determine how the chin depth will determine how big your chin is. So do probably about like that. Okay, not bad. And again, if you're doing this for the first time, base it off a reference photo and then make adjustments afterwards. When it comes to jaw angle, I would probably lean more towards it being on the lower end, because you can see it looks a little weird when you do it high. It doesn't really change much, like looking face on, but on the side it does. So I usually just keep it down there. Jowls. Let's see. What does this do again? Not sure if it does anything for this. We'll just put that there for now. Chin, I don't think we mess with that. These are all just minor adjustments. Chin, neck, again, that's a little bit of a minor adjustment, but that does, you can see here, that can help clean up this profile, side profile. So, all right, let's go to mouth. So right now we are extremely pouty, but we can get that together. The first thing I want to do is fix the lips. Let's see. What did I do here? So I'm gonna put that, your lip ratio. It's another preference thing, but I'm gonna put it kind of in the middle until I figure out what the heck is going on with the mouth. Like, what did I do? Okay, here we go. Okay. Lip cleft. Yeah, you can mess with this some. And just get your lips the way you want it. This, I don't really have a lot of tips for the lips, other than like just use a reference photo to the best of your abilities. We'll go back up here to width. Can either make our lips a little bit more full or less full. I usually have a smaller upper lip when I do this, but yeah. There's that. Did I mess with the nose at all? Maybe I didn't mess with the nose. do think if I go back to head, yeah, I stretched the head out. Um, so let's go ahead and get the rest of this together here. And you might have to flip back between your chin and like your head, because if you stretch your head and squish it, it's going to change the shape of your chin. So I want my head to be kind of square. So I'm going to do about like that. Don't be afraid to fully stretch it out or fully squish it, whatever you like best. I'm going to go over to more square on this one. And then I usually like to be a little bit more forehead heavy. And what I'll do, now that like this looks good, as far as the shape of the overall head, I'm going to go back over to chin, go up to this, make the chin a little bit more out. So there's that. And I mean, that is a pretty good base. Obviously, this isn't exactly how I had my skin or my shape. I'd have to play around with it more. But that is kind of how I do it. Doesn't look too bad from the side. Like face on, it looks pretty okay there. We're just gonna go and save YouTube as YouTube, and if I get back to this, you can see that's how I'm looking. So I'm looking a little bit different than I did before we started this tutorial, but this is what I was able to do in a YouTube video. Usually when I give my avatar a makeover, of course I have all the time in the world allotted to me. I can take my time on this. If I go over to my outfit and I put my old shape back on, we can see it's not that far off. I was just slightly different. I think my shoulders were probably a little bit more wide, but that's just when you would go back into the shape and make adjustments. So with that said, if you or you have a friend, maybe your Second Life husband or boyfriend needs some help or anything like that, feel free to hit me up in World. I love adding new people and getting to know new people on Second Life and going on adventures. So my in-world name is Just Travi. You can see it right here. Let me just this box up a little bit so you can maybe see it a little bit better. There you go. Just Travi. It's JustTravie. Feel free to add me in World, and we can go shopping together. I can help you with your shape. Or if you have any questions on any of my other videos, such as editing pictures, or getting or creating tattoos, if you need help with those things, I can help you with that as well. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in my next video.